Hello everyone and welcome to another Storm Collectibles unboxing review. Today we have Ultra Street Fighter 2 Sagat, the Mountain of Muscle and the original champion of Street Fighter 1 before he was dethroned by Ryu. So let's just jump right in. Let's take a look at the back. It's obviously all in Japanese, as the original Street Fighter Storm Collectible figures were. So we can see that this is the Tiger Shot, the Tiger Knee. This is him in his sort of lose condition from the original Street Fighter. This is the Tiger Uppercut. This is him preparing the Tiger Shot. And this just is a Tiger Feint Kick, I suppose. Height is 226 centimetres, which I don't know what that translates to in feet, but pretty tall is the answer, because that is one of Sagat's defining features, is that he is pretty massive. So, this was second hand that I got him. So let's take a look and see exactly what we have in the box. So this stand will almost certainly be for the Tiger Fireball. Here is a little instruction manual, which I'm expecting to be in Japanese. There we are, the alternate heads, the Tiger Shot, different hands, and that's it. That's a very nice little instruction manual. They stopped doing that later on. And of course this background is Sagat's background from Street Fighter 2, which is the Thailand stage. And does this come out? Yes, it does. This is a separate little backdrop, so you kind of have this as a backdrop if you want. And just for fun, let's do this for the video, will we? So we'll put the box over here, and we'll place you something like that. There we are. There is your little Street Fighter 2 stage. Very cool. So I can go down here, and we won't be setting this up today, but it's literally the same as every other one. You just put it together and it makes the fireball sort of look like it's floating in midair. So let's just get into the figure itself. It does come with the original little plastic sheet. That's always nice to see. And let's start by looking at Big Sagat himself, who is quite massive. You can see his hands have been positioned because, like I said, this is second hand. So before we go into the actual motion of the character, well, he's in refusal to stand, so let's just straighten up his ankles just a little bit so he does stand. There we are. Let's take a look at his accessories. Comes with the second plastic sheet, so probably been kept in good condition. This is the Tiger Shot. Seems quite hollow. Is this the entire Tiger Shot? Is it missing a bit that should go here? Maybe it is. Maybe this is the Tiger Shot. It does have the hole here, so that's where it would clip in. It's just I'm used to the Hadokens and other fireballs having an additional part that sits here. But yeah, there you go. Well, it certainly looks like a Tiger Shot. So, this is what it is. Let's look at some of these additional heads. If we can get into them. So here we have a rather angry Sagat. Yes, quite vicious. Of course with the eye patch, because he lost his eye in a fight against Dan's father, who Sagat thought he had beaten Sagat's father. And he went over to congratulate him on his fight, and Dan's father wasn't beaten, and he got up and punched his eye out. And Sagat says, yep, that was my fault, I thought the fight was finished, and then he kills him. Right in front of Dan, and that's what starts off Dan's storyline. There you have the Sagat laughing face, which is very iconic since Street Fighter 1, where he folds his arms and does the big hearty laugh. And of course here is the defeated face, quite iconic from Street Fighter 2 and also Street Fighter 1, where he's got the black eye, the blood dripping from his teeth, and also from under the eye patch. That must be quite painful. And just the little bludgeon on the head as well. So yes, very cool little additions that they've given us for the Street Fighter 2 Ultra Edition. We have here the open hand, which is This would normally be for a fireball, but when Sagat throws his fireballs... Oh, I almost dropped it. When Sagat throws his fireballs, he actually fires them with his fists clenched. So that's an interesting little thing. Again, that kind of Hadoken look of the fireball. We have the open palms. And we also have what has been dubbed the karate chop palms, which is just the plain open palms as such. You can see it's got very nice detailing on the hands, on the hand wraps here. So that's quite nice to see. So that is all the accessories that you get with Sagat. Now let's check out the figure himself and see what his flexibility is like. So the chest has that range. This is all soft rubber up here. Nice head movement. It's on the little head tilt. Very nice, soft, smooth action. Oh. It's a little bit of a marking here, but I think that might be factory. Oh no, that was just art. Oh, it just came off. That was surprising. So there we are. He has huge butterfly joints, so let's check them. So you can really lunge back for preparing the tiger shots, and can really lunge forward into it. So that's very cool. Full shoulder motions. Goes right out into the solid T-pose. The elbow is double jointed, but of course the muscle, because of course Sagat is a mountain of muscle, does prevent it from going much further than here. Can actually maybe go in just a little bit more. It's actually the elbow joint itself, it's not actually the muscle connecting over here. But then I think Sagat is a slightly older figure. He's an older variant than some of the Street Fighter figures. There's almost no bicep movement, but that comes from the way the shoulder and the upper bicep has been molded here. You can see that it's just having not very much giveaway. So you're more relying on the butterfly joint for moving the arm than this part here. So it's the same with this one. Yep. You can see that the muscle, if we can get focus, the muscle actually locks here with this part here. So that's something that's fixed in later releases. This shoulder joint is very unusual. You don't normally see that with Storm Collectible figures. I'm not sure when the Sagat was made, but I'm thinking that this is certainly an older Sagat, Storm Collectibles figure? An older Sagat figure? No, older Storm Collectible figure. It's still very nice. It's still got, all the movement and flexibility that Storm Collectibles should have. So let's check the legs. So the knee, once again, that's as far as it bends. The knee doesn't actually connect here. There's very little thigh pivot. There's a little bit of thigh pivot. I thought there was going to be none there. The ankle is not on a ball, I don't think. Or if it is, then it's very, very loose. You can see there's a little tiny bit of movement there, but not much. And of course you do have the toe pivot, if you want to stand like so. So we'll maybe try a pose or two there. The other leg is exactly the same. So I can feel that this has a lot of stiffness in it, which is good, which means the person that owned this before me didn't use them that much. I think he was maybe just on display somewhere. So let's try some iconic poses. So can we get him to fold his arms? Because that is obviously a very iconic pose. I know there the arms turned a little bit more there. So that's something. So even if we are using the butterfly, not really. That's about the closest I can get it. And normally I'm pretty good at these. You can see that this butterfly joint is coming out right here. This one is kind of strange actually. I'm wondering if these butterfly joints have been moved at some point in the past. Yeah, so we can rotate that over a little bit. Rotate this one a little bit. Okay. Okay, can we move you in a little bit further? Is that as far as you go? Okay. And then if we do this one here... Nope. That looks about as best you're going to get. So, it looks like the folded arms pose that he's quite famous for is a no-go for this figure. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here with the butterfly joints. Whether this is just a thing with Sagats, or whether this one has been maybe taken apart or something at some point and wasn't put back on entirely correctly. But it's still a very, very nice figure, very good looking figure. Especially if you're, I think if I rotate that, that looks a bit more correct, maybe. There's a bit of hole here, a bit of gap, so I'm trying to fix that. So the way that this works behind the scenes here, there, that looks maybe a little bit better. There we go. Okay, that looks a little bit nicer. So the way it works is there's a connection that goes here into the shoulder ball, and that's what creates the butterfly arm here, and that's all hidden by just this layer here. It's just a circular bit of plastic that goes around that to try and hide that, and for the most part it looks quite good. You can see that he's got quite a massive back area. I think I want to try and... Also, sometimes this soft part here, the upper torso, can just ride up a little bit. So you just use your fingers to push that down a little. And you can see it gives you a little bit more access with the head and such. So there we go. Right, can we put him in a Muay Thai pose? That is the next question. So the Muay Thai pose... or the mantis pose, as it's known. Well, there isn't much flexibility in the wrists here. You can see that. But like I said, like a lot of these problems with Storm Collectibles were fixed in later stages. So we'll presume this is like that. I don't know if Sagat is left-footed or right-footed. But yeah, there we go. That's quite a cool pose. So he uses this pose more in Street Fighter 1, I think. This is a more traditional mantis pose. So how about let's try extending these feet. We'll have him step in for a fireball, a tiger chow. So we bring the hands in close together, have him face upwards, and yes, that is quite perfect. And can I even just put this over? Wow, there we go. There. That looks fantastic, actually. It's almost like it's been designed to look that way. So... that is quite cool. The lack of mobility in the ankle here makes it a little bit difficult, because if I could tilt this ankle just a little bit more this way, then he'd be a lot more fluid in his standing. What else can we do? Shall we try a tiger uppercut? Which is, of course, another very iconic move of Mr. Sagat. There we are. That is a huge tiger uppercut. I'd position the foot so that it wouldn't stand like that. But if I do something like that... No, the more that I screw about with it, the more it looks less like he's doing a tiger uppercut and more like he's just raising his hands to the air. So if we put this foot closer to the calf. We're trying. Unfortunately, the lack of mobility with the ankle is really an issue here. But yeah, and then maybe rotate the head, have the Sagat look at the character, and the fist out to the side. Maybe something like that. And there you go. There is a perfect variant of the Shoryuken, or the Tiger Uppercut. Don't think he had the Tiger Uppercut in Mortal Kombat 1. I'm pretty sure he didn't. I'm pretty sure it was just the Tiger Knee and the Tiger Shots. But he learned the Tiger Uppercut after Ryu gave him this scar in Street Fighter 1. And if you want to see what that looks like, just watch the first 5 minutes of the Street Fighter 2 animated movie, which is a very, very, very cool scene. The entire movie is good, but the first 5 minutes of it will really draw you in, because that first fight between Sagat and Ryu in Australia is really awesome. It's got the lightning in the background and everything. So yes, so there is the Mountain of Muscle Sagat. Very cool figure. I'm very pleased with him. There's a lot of old problems with him that Strong Collectibles fixed over the years. I can even see this little bit of colour differentiation between this part here and this part here, but that's not a huge issue. So before we finish off, of course, we'll do our what's that called when you stand something next to something? Comparison. That was the word I was looking for. Yes, let's do some comparison shots. So I've got a select couple of characters over to the side here. So let us just check against Mortal Kombat's Scorpion. This is also Strong Collectibles, and as you can see, the height difference between Sagat and Scorpion is gigantic, huge. Unfortunately, I didn't bring Goro down. He's still upstairs. But I'm very curious to see the height difference between Goro and Sagat. I'm willing to bet they're about the same height, because Sagat is a lot taller than what I was expecting him to be. And next over here, we have also from Ultra Street Fighter 2 Strong Collectibles, the Violent Ken figure, which, yes, as you can see, Sagat is still significantly taller. I'm just going to bring the camera down just a little bit, if it would stop fighting me. Camera, please. There we go. There we go. It's still fighting me. Okay, there we have it. That's good enough, I think. Maybe just cut off the top of Sagat's head there. There, okay. If I do that, then yes, there we go. So as you can see, Ken really kind of comes up to about the chest area of Sagat, but then Sagat is supposed to be absolutely massive. So, yep, that makes quite a bit of sense. So let's remove Scorpion from over here. And we'll bring in from Street Fighter 5, also Strong Collectibles, the alternate costume for M. Bison. You can see the height difference between the Dictator himself and Sagat. And yes, you can see that Sagat does entirely tower over all the rest of these Street Fighter characters. I just realised Ken is not standing quite to attention. There. That's a little bit better. And lastly, from an entirely different line, entirely different franchise, the original Street Fighter, or the original good Street Fighter figures, would be the Sota Street Fighters. So this is the set 1 Sota Ryu, and as you can see, that is quite the height difference there between the Mountain of Muscle Sagat and, of course, the person that beat him, Ryu himself. So yes, and just for fun, let's take his little duffel bag off of him. I've barely touched this Ryu figure. I've had him for many years, but let us, just for old time's sake, Ryu is right-handed. So let's use the right hand, position this up, set this up, put the arm over here, and we'll just position the legs here into a little bit of a motion. I really love these Sota figures because they're really cool. In terms of the flexibility, the movement, this was basically Storm Collectibles before Storm Collectibles was a thing. Obviously an entirely different company, and I think Sota went broke, unfortunately. But yes, there we go. And there you can have the iconic pose where Ryu does the Shoryuken, which leaves Sagat with his scar and his one loss in his entire career. So, yes, there we have it. Or at least it was his first loss up until Street Fighter 2. I think he maybe had some losses after that. He fights Ryu again, and Ryu turns into Evil Ryu, and I think Sagat beats him when he's Evil Ryu, and says, "This isn't the Ryu that I wanted, this isn't the rematch that I wanted." And by Street Fighter 5, Sagat finds peace, and Adon becomes the one that wants to basically dominate Thailand. So yeah, there's a lot of backstory there. But this isn't about Ryu, this is about Sagat. And there he is in all of his glory with his wonderful background. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. Remember, if you liked the video, give us a like, share and subscribe. Remember, you can check me out on Discord and you can talk to me there. And we will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.